everyone. Today we are going to continue our journey on solving systems of linear equations with graphing. However, we are going to see how the difference between when they are in a y equals mx plus b and when they are not. So yesterday in our lesson we saw that two equations worked together in order to give you a solution. And that solution was used to identify where the two linear equations overlapped. That was our solution. So they worked together to give you an ordered pair. Today we're going to do the exact same thing, except we're going to step it up. We're going to step it up by using two equations and checking to make sure that first they are in y equals mx plus b, and if they are not in y equals mx plus b, you are going to put them into that equation by using one or two steps. Okay, so what does this mean, Miss Englander? Talk to me. Tell me, what are all these words flying out of your mouth about? All right, so let's look at equation 1. Okay, so we have equation 1 with some dog hair. So equation 1 there, and it says y equals 2x minus 2. Okay, and then we also have another equation, which is equation 2, and this one says negative x plus 2y equals negative 4. Okay. As you can see right here, we have this equation, and this is in y equals mx plus b. So let's put that up here. We want them in y equals mx plus b because we know we need a slope and we need the first dot on the graph. This equation here is not in y equals mx plus b. Instead, this one right here is in negative x plus 2y equals negative 4. So what we're going to do is we are going to need to solve and move things around so that we have two equations that say y equals mx plus b. So first, let's start with equation 1. And we will look at equation 1 and identify some things. So we have y equals 2x minus 2. All right, so we have the y-intercept, which is right here. So we know that this point, RB, is going to be at 0, negative 2. Okay, we know that our slope is right here, the m. So m equals 2 over 1. And we're putting it over 1 because, again, it's a whole number and a slope needs a fraction. Okay, so let's go ahead and graph this first one. And then we will go from there. So we're going to graph. All right, and it says 0, negative 2. So with my pink, I'm going to go to 0 and negative 2. And then I am going to go 2 over 1. And this is positive, so I'm making a positive line going up. So up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, or like this. And I now have a line that I can draw by connecting these things. Okay, next thing that we want to look at is this beast of an equation. So let's go ahead and look at equation number 2. So equation number 2, we need to make it say y equals mx plus b. It does not say that. It says negative x plus 2y equals negative 4. We want y on one side, we want x on the other. So let's go ahead and move things around until y is all by itself. So to undo a negative x, I'm going to add an x, and I'm going to add an x over here. So this now says x minus 4, and this says 2y equals x minus 4. All right, I'm going to now divide, right? I want y by itself, so I'm going to divide by 2. Divide by 2. All right, so I now have y equals, I have 1 over 2 x, because x divided by 2 is like saying 1x divided by 2, minus, and then I have 4 divided by 2, which is 2. So my equation that I'm going to graph starts, I have a y equals mx plus b. So now I'm going to identify my slope. My slope is right here. No, my y-intercept is right there. So b equals 0, negative 2. And my slope is right here in the x place. So m equals 1 over 2. Okay, now we are ready to graph this thing and see where do our lines cross. So I'm going to start at 0, negative 2. Look at that, you guys. And I'm going to go up 1 over 2. Up 1 over 2. Look, it crossed right at 0, negative 2. So our solution just happens to be the exact same place where they started. So my solution here is right there. So the solution is 0, negative 2. Right where both of them began. All right, so that is all that we're doing today. So today we're just adding on this extra step of having to get the y value all by itself so that you can find the slope and the y-intercept. Okay, so let's try example B. Okay, so let's look at example B. So example B, again, we're going to have two separate equations. All right, so our first equation says 3, so let's do EQ1, equation number 1 is 3x plus 2y equals 4. And equation number 2 says y equals negative 3x minus 1. Okay, so again, we have to graph these in order to find the solution, but first they need to be in y equals mx plus b. Otherwise, we are not able to do any sort of graphing. Okay, so let's take a look at equation 1. So equation 1, we want to solve for y. So we have 3x plus 2y equals 4. We're going to draw our line. We want y's on one side, x's on the other. Subtract 3x from this side, subtract 3x from here. That gives us negative 3x plus 4. So remember again, I want y equals mx plus b. So I want mx plus b. I have 2y, so I'm going to divide by 2 and divide by 2. So this says y equals, make sure you can see this, y equals negative 3 over 2x plus 4 divided by 2 is 2. All right, so I have a negative slope, which means that my line is going to go down like this. I'm going to identify the, here's the y-intercept right here at 2. So my b is 0, 2. And my slope is right here. Here's my slope, negative 3, 2. M equals negative 3 over 2. So let's go ahead and graph this problem. So my first equation, we're going to graph 0, 2. So I'm going to go 0 and go 1, 2, put a dot, and then negative. So I'm going to go up 3. So I want my line to go down at an angle. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. All right, there's one line. Okay, now we are ready for this equation number 2. All right, equation number 2, we're just going to identify. Here it is right here. So b equals 0, negative 1. M, here's my m right here. So m equals negative 3 over 1. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and graph this one. I'm starting at 0, negative 1. So here's 0, and I'm going to go down to negative 1. And then down 3 over 1. Again, this is a negative slope again. So we will go down 3, 1, 2, 3 over 1. Up 3, 1, 2, 3 over 1. Ooh, there we go. There's where it's going to intercept, right there. This one goes at a really steep angle like this. They're both going in the same direction, but they cross at 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 5. So our solution equals 2, 5. 2, 5. Oops, negative 2, 5. Sorry, because we're on the negative side. So negative 2, 5. All right, it is your turn now to do a try it. Okay, so you're going to do a try it. Remember that you want those problems to always say y equals mx plus b. Okay, that's what we want. So let's look at our try it. Your try it today. Example 2. There we go. All right, example 2. Try it number 1. And it says y equals negative 4x minus 7. That's equation 1. And the second equation is x plus y equals 2. That is equation 2. All right, so your job right now is to graph these, find the solution, and then come back when you are done and check your understanding. All right, so my first step, make sure you hit pause so you don't hear me solving right now. All right, so again, my first step that I'm going to look at on this problem is that I want them to say y equals mx plus b. That's the equation I want. If that is not stuck in your head yet, we need to get it stuck there somehow. All right, equation 1. Y equals negative 4x minus 7. Okay, let's go ahead and identify the different parts here. So the 7, negative 7, is the b. So 0, negative 7. My m, or my slope, is right here, and it's negative 4 over 1. And so let's go ahead and graph this. So I'm going to start at 0, negative 7. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Also, you don't have 7, right? So we could count by 2s. If you wanted to on this one, you could have counted by 2s and then put it somewhere in between. So 0, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it's at negative 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, there we go. Negative 7, right there. Okay, we're at negative 7. And then we want 4 over 1. It's a negative slope, which means it's going to go down. I don't have 4 spots going downwards, so I'm going to go up and over that direction to the left. On the negative side, up 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. There we go. And now I can graph this. There we go. All right, the second one, our equation number 2. Equation number 2 says x plus y equals 2. Again, I want y on one side, x on the other. So we got to move it over. We need to move it, move it. All right, and right now I have a positive x. I'm going to subtract, so this goes away. So subtract x. Tells me I have y equals negative x plus 2. Okay, a negative x is the same thing as saying y equals negative 1x plus 2. So my b equals 2, so 0, 2. So I'm going to start at 0. I'm going to go up 1, 2. There's my first dot. And then I have a slope. My m equals negative 1 over 1. So again, I'm negative, boom, going down 1, ooh. So this one, I almost need to make this dot go up a little bit more. So this one was negative 4, so up. Right there. Oh, that's where the cross is right there. Look at it go. And then this one goes right there. This one would be easier to do on big ideas for sure, just because you have more space on big ideas and you can't see anything of what I just did. All right, there we go. So it crosses at 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Solution is 3, negative 5. Why do I feel like that was the solution last time? It was 2, negative 5. Negative 2, 5 last time. No, the solution is negative 3. Positive 5. What did I do? There we go. Negative 3, so going over negative 3, up 5 is a positive 5. I have no idea what I did there. Woo, my goodness. All right, it is your time to go ahead and do your practice work. Answer your essential question. How do you solve systems of linear equations by graphing? So how do you do that? And then go ahead and put your level of understanding out to the side. Where are you at with your learning? And then you may head on back to the Google Meet if you have any questions or if you want to work in there. Otherwise, you may go to Big Ideas and do your practice work. As always, I appreciate all of your hard work and effort, and make it a great day.